Welcome to Khaliis Take. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you can get the newest content first. But let's just go ahead and jump right in. Now, I'm going to have to say this. This is going to be a pretty big test for the Clippers. You know, the Clippers are healthy. They're fully active, fully healthy now, based upon what Ty Lue was saying. We saw them the other night against the Charlotte Hornets. As a team, they look very good. They look dominant, even though they didn't really get that much from Kawhi and PG. They really didn't need to. Nicholas Batum was shooting out this world. I mean, he was on another planet shooting, if you ask me. Honestly, he looked like the best player that night. But, regardless of, they're fully healthy now. And now, I expect Ty Lue to, do better with his lineups. I expect more out of John Wall going forward, whether he's in the starting lineup or not. Either way, Ty Lue is kind of, the one you have to blame for that, because you got to be consistent with John Wall. Either consistently have him come off the bench or consistently, just leave him in the starting lineup, because you got to trust him at some point. You went out and got him to be that anchor for the offense that the Clippers didn't have the last few years that everybody said that they needed to put them over the hump and over the top to win a championship. But regardless of that, you got a big matchup coming up against the Philadelphia 76ers tonight. And it's a matchup that I think the Clippers definitely should get up for. And I think it's a matchup that I feel like the Clippers, definitely could win. But it's not going to be an easy one, I don't believe, because Joel Embiid's a handful. And the Sixers are a handful when they have, him, James Harden. I don't believe they're going to have Tyrese Maxey, but they're still a handful either way, because Niang and a lot of other shooters, along with Tobias Harris, makes them a deadly team. They got enough scoring to, keep up with a lot of teams. And they've been on a roll a little bit lately, so, you got to give them credit. And Joel Embiid is definitely an MVP candidate when healthy, and when he's on his game right, because, he's definitely a dominant figure in the paint. And plus, he can step out and shoot a little bit on the perimeter. So I think, the Clippers defense is going to have to be sound. I definitely think it will be. And like I said, it's one of those test type games for them. They've been playing a little, sloppy teams lately, the Wizards, the Charlotte Hornets. And sometimes when you play teams like that, it kind of lulls you to sleep a little bit as an NBA team, because you're not playing against high level competition. You're playing against, lower competition, which, sometimes really is can be a detriment to teams. But of course, now I think the more latter part or the harder part of their schedule is starting to come. So this is one of their, I would say, early tests of their, harder part of their schedule. And I want to see how they do against the Sixers. I want to see how they can come out. I want to see if they can dominate. And I want to see exactly, how Ty Lue is going to make adjustments against, Doc Rivers, his mentor. So it's actually kind of a big game in all essence. So we'll see, what happens. But I expect the Clippers to win. I'm gonna go 114 to 102 Clippers. I expect Kawhi and PG to do their thing. I expect more. I expect a little bit more from Marcus Morris this game too. This is one of those games where Marcus Morris would actually probably show up a little bit more and play and show out. This is just one of those games for him that usually, a game on a schedule like this where, they're playing against a team with a little bit of a test, and he kind of, picks up for some of these games at times. So I mean, he's not consistent with it, but this could be one of those games where he might show out a little bit more. I'm still waiting to see more from everybody as a whole, as a team. Like I said, the way they played against Charlotte the other night was good, but that's the Charlotte Hornets. I need to see, complete domination and victories against teams with a little bit better competition. And I think, of course, the Clippers can do that. I just think that they're going to have to, buckle down on defense and worry about that end of the field, worry about that end of the court a little bit more rather than the offensive side. Because if they buckle down on the defensive side, then their offense will come and it'll flow as it's supposed to. And I guarantee if you ask Kawhi Leonard, the best player on the team, he would definitely tell you that, defense, focus on the defensive end and all the rest will follow. Because if you're stopping the other team, well, your offense will just come along as it's supposed to. If you're stopping the opposing team, you're still going to win. So, and we all know Kawhi is about winning and nothing else. So with that being said, I like I said, Clippers 114, 102. I expect a victory. I expect them to, let the world know once again, this is who we are. And I was reading an article on The Athletic here lately that the Clippers, or a few of the Clippers said by Christmas, you'll start to see the best of us. I was reading an article on The Athletic about that. So, so far these last couple games, they have looked pretty good, pretty much on a decent basis, but it has to be continual. It can't be, in and out. It can't be sometime. It has to be more consistent. So we'll see if that's the truth. And you can definitely check that article out and read a little bit more on it yourself. But I'm definitely anticipating to see, what they do against a team like Philadelphia, who's on a roll a little bit, and who's a team who kind of, has their stride a little bit, at least for the moment. So, like I said, I think I'm not really sure how the point guard situation is with the Clippers. John Wall's in and out the lineup. I think that's one thing Ty Lue really has to correct too. I mean, you gotta know who your point guard is. You gotta know, what he can give you, and you gotta be able to get the best out of John Wall, whether he comes off the bench or, he is in the starting lineup. Either way, you've got to find a way to get the best out of him, because I just don't see, them going too far, with John Wall not being acclimated the way he's supposed to, and not being happy in regards to his minutes and what he's getting, because sometimes disgruntled players can make a team fall apart. That's just the way it is. We saw with the Clippers a couple years ago, with Montrez and Lou Williams and all them, what they had against Kawhi and PG, or mainly just PG rather than Kawhi. But we heard about all that, and that can deter a team from getting to where they're supposed to. So, and I'm not saying John Wall is going to do that, but what I'm saying is, they got to find a way to utilize John Wall a lot more effective, and where John Wall's happy, because you went out to get him for a purpose, and the purpose is to give you high assist total, low turnover ratio. So if that's the case, you got to find a way to get him to start playing that way, because that'll make them more of a dominant team rather than just a good or a little bit above average team. You see what I'm saying? So, and you want to win games off continuity and consistency. You don't want to win games off of your talent, because winning games off of talent, a lot of times teams like that don't win championships. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how it pans out, and hope for all the best with the Clippers against the 76ers and going forward. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check out my other videos if you haven't. And hey, till next time.